The following is a message from the Ministry of Science, Energy, Telecommunications and Transport.
My fellow Jamaicans, especially our rural children and parents, good evening. I'm proud to announce that Phase 1 of the National Rural School Bus Program will begin on Monday, September 8, 2025, with 55 of the 122 routes covering all parishes being served by 60 of the 110 rural school buses. Thousands of students from 258 of 858 schools across all parishes will benefit with the introduction of the National Rural School Bus Program. Far too long, rural students across Jamaica have been unable to attend school regularly because of high transportation costs and inadequate public transport for children. Many children have been forced to travel on foot or in unsafe vehicles, are exposed to numerous risks including traffic accidents, crime and disrespect from the ever so popular cry, "No Schoolers." That ends this September morning. It has always been the policy of this government that all students should have and must have access to reliable, affordable, safe and efficient transportation to and from school. As a rural MP, I've seen firsthand the stress of our parents and the struggles of our children. This isn't about politics, it's personal. I have made it my mission to ensure the National Rural School Bus Program becomes a reality. It is a priority of this administration and one of the most rewarding achievements of my political career. Data from the Jamaica Constabulary Force indicates that in 2023, 18 students died in traffic accidents. In 2024, 24 students. And so far since the start of 2025, 12 students have lost their lives tragically from being involved in traffic accidents. Not to mention the 792 students injured during this period. If those numbers aren't sufficient for us to act now, then what is? This government decided to act through the Ministry of Science, Energy, Telecommunications and Transport in partnership with the Ministry of Education, Skills, Youth and Information. After careful deliberation and due diligence, we accepted an unsolicited proposal for the importation of 110 school buses to urgently start to solve the transportation needs of our rural students. From day one, we have been transparent and honest about this plan. These buses are specially manufactured for the safety of students and have been used to transport students in the United States since 1937. They are safe and reliable. These same buses have been used in sections of rural Jamaica to transport students for many decades. So this is not an election ploy as some will want to believe. This was a carefully calculated action plan to alleviate the stress and strain of our rural students and parents. No more talking, no more delay, no more leaving our rural students to fend for themselves. These 110 school buses will be deployed in a phased implementation system. As mentioned earlier, 60 of the buses will begin operating along 55 rural routes come September 8th, with the other 40 being gradually introduced between September to November on 67 additional rural routes, totaling 122 routes servicing 258 rural schools across Jamaica, and 10 additional buses will be reserved to ensure continuity of the fleet and service. This will complement rural routes in Clarendon and St. Thomas already being served by the JUTC. This service will come at no cost to parents and students for the first 2 months, September and October. After that, it will be $50 per trip per child. This will be significant savings for rural families when compared to previously paying between $300 and $600 per child per day for transportation to school. Parents will no longer have to choose which child goes to school. All rural children will now be able to go to school every day, allowing them to maximize their full potential. It is inequitable for parents in rural Jamaica that what it costs in transportation to send one child to school daily in rural Jamaica could send between 10 and 15 children to school in the Kingston Metropolitan Transport Region. This ends now. I'm also pleased to announce that 12 of these rural school buses will serve 8 special needs schools in Phase 1, with the introduction of 1 more in Phase 2. As we continue to serve our rural students and parents, more schools, more children with special needs will be added to this program. Following last month's testing of the buses on all 122 routes, changes have been made to the sizes of the remainder of the buses that will be shipped to allow for the ease of access to some rural roads. Where safety is concerned, I'm happy to report that all 60 buses that will roll out in September are ready for the Jamaican roads. All doors have been changed to the left side, all tires have been replaced with new ones, and all 60 buses fully serviced. The installation of modern features such as GPS tracking, accessible by parents, speed limiters, onboard surveillance cameras, geofencing, and a cashless payment system have been completed. Our parents will be able to monitor the movement of their children to and from school. This government is ensuring that our commitments to the Jamaican people are kept. We know you value action and performance. We will continue to expand the fleet of the rural school bus program over the next 2 fiscal years. By the end of 27-28 financial year, all 14 parishes will have sufficient school buses to serve the 858 rural schools across the island. We have started with 258 and we are committed to servicing the other 600 rural schools across the island by 2028. This is my commitment to you. Despite the naysayers and the doubters of this initiative, I am happy but not surprised that a strong majority of well-thinking Jamaicans support the rural school bus program as a well-needed national benefit for rural Jamaica. I will continue my efforts to ensure that all rural students can travel to school safely and economically in a dedicated, fit-for-purpose school bus. But we're not done yet. Not only will our rural students benefit from reliable transportation, UE and UTEC students will no longer have to fear leaving class at 8 or 9 o'clock at night. Through the JUTC, several routes that serve UE and UTEC will be extended. These include Route 19AX from UE UTEC to Greater Portmore. This bus will depart UE's back gate at 9:15 p.m. and then pick up UTEC. Route 24EX from UE UTEC to Spanish Town will leave UE's back gate at 8:45 p.m. and 9:15 and then pick up UTEC. Route 45EX from UE UTEC to Meadowbrook will leave UE's back gate at 8:30 p.m. and then pick up UTEC. Route 95EX from UE UTEC to Bull Bay will leave UE's back gate at 9:15 p.m. then pick up at UTEC. A new route will also be introduced. 508 from Old Harbour to UE Front Gate and UTEC via Spanish Town. This will depart Old Harbour at 5:15 a.m. and 6:50 p.m. and UE Front Gate 4 p.m. and 9:10 p.m. In addition, arrangements are being made to extend this service to all tertiary level students and institutions in short order. Not only will the JUTC be extending its routes, but all tertiary students will have valid school identification card will also travel free on buses for September and October. JUTC is committed to ensuring that all commuters, particularly our students, have safe, reliable transportation. As Minister, I've been active and attentive to the needs and requests of you, the public, and together we can dramatically improve public transport in Jamaica, with much more to be done. For far too long, our students have suffered and have been preyed on by rogue transport operators, giving the hard-working and law-abiding operators a bad name. As Minister with responsibility for transport, I say no more. It is time for our students to hear schoolers only. This is now their time. Let us choose to protect our students. Jamaica, this minister and this government does not make promises. We deliver on commitments. We are committed to launching the National Rural School Bus Program this September and expanding it to all 858 schools within 2 years. Meanwhile, regrettably and unfortunately, the opposition has categorically stated that if elected, they will scrap the rural school bus system just as they did in 2012. Jamaicans, the choice is yours. May God continue to bless Jamaica, the land we love.
This message was brought to you by the Ministry of Science, Energy, Telecommunications and Transport.